I'll mute my.
Mute your sound.
Okay.
Aloha, and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center. Here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock Hawaiian time, and record it and put it on our website, kauaidharma.org. The Dharma Center's name is Kagyu Tupten Chuling, which means lineage of the Kagyu Lamas offering to the universe and all the beings in it. And I'm Lama Tashi. When we present these practices, relatively is to purify our mind streams with the practice. There are blessings that people receive in just watching the program or going on to our website. But the real activity of purification and progress takes place when they actually do the practice. And for instance, I watched one of my Lama gurus, my root Lama actually, Kala Rinpoche, Yansi Rinpoche, performing a breathing practice. And that was all he was doing. He was just saying, breathe like this. Inhale, exhale. That's all he was doing. He was on a Zoom, just like this. How simple can you get? Everybody breathes.
Control of the breath equals control of the mind. That's what he said.
Abby says, control of the breath is the control of the mind. That's not entirely true, but it takes you a long way down the path to actual truth. Because what it really does is it allows you to relax, to be peaceful. And that application, many, many teachers, traditions, religions can get to that level. But that doesn't deal with the emotional program, which is the cause of all pain and suffering. And these conflicting emotions are what distorts our whole interaction with each other and this world around us. So these practices are twofold, like that breathing, conscious breathing. To get you to the level of peace and tranquility. It's called Shine or Samatha. And then with more advanced advice from the Lama, training either through book learning or hearing, actually moving into the conflict itself, taking the emotional energies, these conflicting energies, as the path of the practice and using the power that they possess to realize the antidote. And that's it. Once the antidote to these conflicting emotions is in place, there's nothing beyond that. Why? Because the antidote is intelligence. Becoming more and more intelligent. And once you get to be a mature human being, which is called a Buddha, there's nothing beyond that. Then all your interactions with yourself, others, and the entire universe are your playground. And that's really where the fun starts. I mean, it's a lot of fun doing these practices up to that point in the practice. But being a mature human being, man or woman, especially in these times, is really fun. And so here in our center on Kauai and on Oahu and on Maui and the Big Island, it's a 24/7 practice situation, night and day. And then extra emphasis on the Tibetan New Year, which starts March 3rd, and it's going to be the year of the tiger. And tonight I have my tiger shirt on. It's black with tigers all over it.
And you're the sign of the tiger.
Oh yeah, Abby said, and I'm the sign of the tiger, which is true.
But you're an earth tiger.
I'm an earth tiger, and this year is a water tiger year. So I'm going to get wet. Anyway, let's do some practice. Oh, and tonight we're going to do the Vajrasattva practice and also Guru Rinpoche, 7-line prayer. From Lama Rinpoche's book, The Story of All of It Simply Said, which you can get through Amazon or through our Dharma centers here in Hawaii. Most of you have this book because I've been recommending it for a long time. But on page 22, Lama Rinpoche says, we should use the 8 worldly dharmas to help us in our practice. What are the 8 worldly dharmas? Praise and blame, disgrace and fame, pleasure and pain, and loss and gain. Everybody is up to their eyeballs in these 8 worldly dharmas. Praise and blame, disgrace and fame, pleasure and pain, and loss and gain. And that's because of our emotional, conflicting ideas of who we are and the mistaken idea of what the world is around us. And so what he says about this, when we detach our mind from these 8 worldly Dharma experiences, we should keep doing this to turn our spiritual, to turn the spiritual side of our activity to a positive mode. Don't abandon these 8 worldly dharmas. Use them. Be mindful of them. And then see how stuck or unstuck you are in each one of these 8, and how judgmental your mind is. When we are involved with these 8 worldly dharmas in a negative way, or what we would say in an egotistical way, we are adding to the pain and suffering of our emotional obscuration. And they cover the pure nature of our mind and can be removed so that the pure nature of our mind becomes who we are. That's a mature human being. Buddha. Any page in this book will support your Dharma practice. Actually, almost one paragraph on every page. Now we take refuge. In taking refuge with the Buddha's Dharma, taught by all the lamas, men and women, of which there are thousands on the planet today, we use the altruistic motivation that we are doing this for everybody else and for our environment, Mother Earth. And so the first thought of refuge is to say that as a prayer. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now all together take refuge. And when possible, offer prostration. Lama-Kala Rinpoche, my root Lama, demonstrated to this prayer to myself and 60 people here it was on Maui, 1977. And what he did is he made prostration. He took off his Zen, he threw it on the floor and did prostration, saying this prayer to us. And after he did several of these prostrations, he stood up and shook his, we call it his Zen, his wrap, put it around him and sat down. Then he told us, now you do it. And keep this thought in mind while you're doing it, that you and every being in the universe are doing these prostrations with you. Wow. When you do that, you're entering into a state of infinite awareness. That's appropriate for everybody. Then we take the actual refuge of the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Buddha's teaching, and the Sangha, the people who practice. And in our tradition, the three roots of Tantra, the Lama, the peaceful deities, and the protector deities and Dakin. And then with those six refuges and the altruistic motivation to bring all beings to maturity, we enter into Bodhisattva training school, which is called the mind of Bodhicitta. I'm going to chant the refuge, but before I chant it, I'm going to chant the altruistic motivation in Sanskrit, which is how it's been transmitted to all the cultures of the planet for the last 2,600 years. Dang dang jowa nanke thadang yampe semchem tamche dudine junte jisi jengchu ningpo la chiki bardu. And the refuge prayer of the six supports. Valden Lama Dampa Namla Chaksu Shio Yedam Chokor Gi Lapso Namla Chaksu Shio Sanjay Chom Dende Namla Chaksu Shio Dampe Chur Namla Chaksu Chio Taupe Gendu Nama Chapsu Chio Pawo Kandro Chokyum Sume Sho Yeshe Ki Shendam Dempa Nam La Chapsu Chio. So the altruistic motivation, together with making prostrations, saying the refuge prayer in English or Sanskrit, is the foundation practice of Tantra. And it's the start of what is called the Nungro. And we're going to do the second practice of the Nungro tonight of Vajrasattva. The third practice is mandala offerings, and the fourth practice is Guru Yoga. We don't have time for the mandala offerings, but we are going to do the Guru Yoga. In English, the refuge goes like this. We go for refuge to all the glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the idams, the deities gathered in our mandala. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have conquered their mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis, or the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these possess the eye of transcending awareness. Excuse me. Then we chant the Bodhisattva prayer, Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is twofold, relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. Relative bodhicitta is for the sentient beings and the world around them. Ultimate bodhicitta is to realize the pure nature of your mind to become a mature human being and bring that to every sentient being, regardless of how they are. The English translation goes like this. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit of practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, called the 6 perfection, accomplish maturity as a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Sanjay Chodang Choki Chodang La Chechu Ardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jinso Jipe Sonam Ki Jola Penjer Sanjay Jubar Sho. Generosity, morality, patience, perseverance, meditative concentration, and the development of insight into our pure nature and how to use it. Those 6 will take you directly to maturity as a Buddha. And combined with the path of skillful means, using the deities, peaceful and protector deities, all of your aspiration prayers, dedication prayers, long life prayers, or any kind of wish you make will be appropriately fulfilled. And with insight, timeless awareness will arise as a benefit to yourself and this world around it. Relative and absolute bodhicitta. Relative deals with the relative situation of the situation we find ourselves in, moment to moment, day to day, and life to life. The relative bodhicitta is accessing the pure nature of your mind and using that in every situation, night and day, waking stage, sleep stage, dream stage, leaving the body stage, and the bardo of the next life. Relative and ultimate. Relative is the relative truth that pain and suffering is the nature of all of our activity. My teacher Lama Rinpoche says, you can see that we are all suffering from overactivity and constant frustration as a result of these activities. That's the worldly. In the ultimate nature of your mind, you move beyond all that drama and use your non-judgmental wisdom nature to be at perfect rest and ease with yourself, which doesn't exist, and the world around you, which is an illusion, and all the drama of the sentient being. That's bodhicitta. Drama mind, which is called the judgmental mind of ignorance, delusion, and the non-judgmental mind, which exists together. When you have non-judgmental mind, easy to stop thinking, easy to use your intelligence, which doesn't exist in this drama world. A lot of smart people, not much intelligence. And the more and more you practice, you start to know things on another level of your conscious awareness. And that's through the merit of practicing these 6 bodhisattva disciplines and using the skillful path taught by the lamas of skillful meaning. And that's what we're taking refuge in. And we'll start tonight with the meditation practice of the 3 lights. Prana yoga practice. Focusing on the breath. And I was asked today to explain why these three lights, why these three colors, white, red, blue. And when we use the three lights with our inhale, the middle breath called the absorption breath, and our exhale, the white is the energy of the universe just as it is. As the five elements entering into our body, which is what it does, the breath. Then the spontaneous activity of the absorption breath is the red light energy, and that's associated with the energy itself as the five elements. And these give us energy, but also keep us healthy and aware. Then those two lights combined become the blue light of the exhale, which is the application of healing on an infinite scale, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to every sentient being, animal, human, and spirit in the entire universe. Not one left out. So let's do that. Back straight, eyes open, mouth closed, hands in a comfortable position, on the knees or in the lap, head slightly tilted forward. Bring your focus to your breath. And with your awareness, color code the inhale of the five elements with the air as white light filling your lungs. Then code red is the absorption of those elements as energy to healing energy to every cell in your body. These two combined become the ultimate healing breath, exhaled out the nose to space, the home of all sentient beings, as a powerful healing energy. Inhale white light, fill your lungs. Absorption breath visualizes red light flashing through your entire body. These two codes together as blue light out your nose to space, like the sky. Count 21 of these three light breaths. When you reach 21, take your focus off your breath. And with your imagination, combine the white, red, and blue into a tiny particle of light and visualize it to be centered in your heart center, creating a bindu or chakra. In Tibetan, it's called a tigli. And the moment you center that particle in the central channel of your life force, in the middle of your chest, it combines with the infinite light of boundless space. This basic space is the situation of the entire universe and everybody in it, and your thoughts. So relax without meditating for a few moments in the infinite potential of this space. Then again, meditate by visualizing the particle in your heart chakra to grow into a small sphere of clear light. In this way, you move from the dimension of spatial awareness into the three-dimensional situation of our world, called a universe. And as you focus on this small sphere of clear light in your heart center, we are going to perform the 5 elements healing meditation by expanding that sphere into one of the symbols of the 5 elements. Tonight, we're going to use the space element, which is a white sphere. It's called the mother element, about the size of your thumbnail in the center of your heart chakra. And it symbolizes the infinite potential of this mother element. To produce whatever is appropriate and perfect. Holding your awareness or focus on this white sphere, visualize it to move out in front of your body and up before your eyes, arm's length in front, about 2 feet in front. Your third eye, which is your imagination, and your 2 eyes are looking to that white sphere in front. Your 2 eyes probably see nothing, but your third eye sees the white sphere as a symbol. There's no difference. Then with your imagination, expand that sphere large enough to you can see your physical body just as you are sitting inside. Comfortable, relaxed, healthy. Then apply this healing symbol to the world around you by visualizing it to grow inside. Here in Hawaii, we visualize it to enclose this island of Kauai and surrounding ocean, which is about 50 miles in diameter. In this way, the full healing energy of your mind of awareness is focused on all the beings in that area. Then expand it in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. You're imagining this, but this is actually the situation. Actual and imagined become the same thing. Then visualize it to grow in size to completely enclose our entire solar system. Billions of miles in every direction. Expanded in size to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. Then move beyond the boundaries of your conceptual awareness, mind, by merging the space symbol with space. Which has no center or boundary. Relax, be present. Take a break in space. She likes you. And move your consciousness from the mother element of space, from this dimension of being, by again inventing the white sphere enclosing the galaxy. Shrink it in size to just enclose the solar system. Smaller and smaller to just enclose Mother Earth. Then shrink it to enclose your town, city, or 50-mile area of where you are doing this practice. Then bring all of that program into your body by visualizing your form sitting inside this white symbol of space. All of the life force or healing energy of the universe into your situation. Finish the practice by shrinking the sphere to its original small size, 2 feet in front of your eye. Bring it to chest level and into your heart chakra. Shrink it to a tiny particle of light, which immediately merges with the boundless light of infinite space. Relax. Be present. And aware. Bring this developing awareness to in front of your eyes and spread it into your area of influence. Dedicate the virtue and merit of this practice to all sentient beings, equally applied to each and every one. This dedication process, get in the habit of doing it with everything. Every activity you're involved in. as a bodhisattva, your activities are precious. When you develop and dedicate the virtue of your development, actually your evolution, then it's equally shared by every being everywhere. You can direct it to a few individuals at first that you have karma with, like mom, dad, friends, relatives, pets, even enemies. But it spreads and it never ceases, not wasted. Padmasambhava. When Padmasambhava left Kashmir, a place called Odiyana, and traveled across the Himalayan mountain ranges, he ended up in Tibet. And he and Choisan Dechen, the king of the area that he entered into Tibet, worked to promote the Dharma in very skillful ways to become what they called the healing energy of the Tibetan people. Not exactly a religion, because what they did is they merged it with the already existing healing energy program of the original Tibetan Bon Po tradition, which came originally from China. It was in China called Taoism. But when they merged these two as a healing program for the Tibetan people, it had a threefold purpose. First of all, to change the mindset of these very unruly nations of Tibet, Mongolia, Eastern China, what is now Western Russia, into wisdom. And they did that by alleviating the negative influences that were harmful, such as animal and human sacrifice. But at the same time, retain the ability to control the elements so that they could survive with food, clothing, and shelter. Very appropriate. So here we are today with Padmasambhava's practice. As a sutra. And with the guidance of the Lama, we put it into a short text that we do on a daily basis with the Gana chakra, or what in Tibetan is called the sok. We won't perform all that tonight, but just the 7-line prayer. Padmasambhava said to do this, and if possible, with this short mantra, to attain blessings and remove obstacles. To your spiritual practice, so that you acquire the same benefits as they did in Tibet. Food, clothing, shelter, good health. And great prosperity with your spiritual practice. This 7-line prayer of Guru Rinpoche, the Tibetan people know. And they sing it and they dance it. And it's performed at the beginning of all powerful spiritual practice. Like when we celebrate Losar, the New Year, we do the Mahakala. Guru Rinpoche is the opening prayer to that very powerful practice. So I'm going to chant it in Tibetan, and then I'm going to read it to you in English. And then we'll say it in English 7 times. Om. 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 Those 3 homes of this sound of infinite healing are the resonance of your heart chakra for your body, speech, and mind. And combining those 3 in practices with all the healing qualities that you possess, we say the home 4 more times. Om. 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 The results of that are the 3 kayas, the 3 vehicles of the Buddha's nature. The Dharma kaya, the great expanse of the Dharma, everywhere existing. The Sambhogakaya, all the deities, peaceful and protector, actually performed in practice, with the bliss nature developing. And the 3rd kaya is that those 2 arising from the mind of a man or woman lama as guidance for sentient beings, specifically humans. So we say that Om 3 more times for that. Om. 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 So that was 10 Om. Just this, the 10 Hum practice, taught by my teachers, is extremely beneficial. You can do them a little shorter way. Hum, 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 hum. Then we start The 7-line prayer of Guru Rinpoche, Prabhupada and Baba. Organ Yoginu Sabsha Pemage Dampola Ye Jejungi Drugderne Pemajerne Jesuda Kordu Kandro Mambo Kor Keiki Jesu Chapchu Ki Jingi Luxur Jesus Soul Guru Padma Siddhi. And in English or Canadian, whom on the northwest border of this country of Oregon, in the pollen heart of the lotus, you attain marvelous and most excellent city. Renowned as the lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakini. As I practice following in your footsteps, I pray your approach to confer blessing. Guru Pema, please bestow blessings and cities upon us or upon me. Home on the northwest border of the country of Oregon and the pollen heart of the lotus, you attain marvelous and most excellent city. City means accomplishment. Renowned as a lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakini. As I practice following in your footsteps, I pray you approach to confer your blessing. Guru Pema, bestow cities upon me. Now there are many versions of this prayer, but Karmapa and my Root Lama Kala Rinpoche took this version. Again, home on the northwest border of the country of Oregon, that's Kashmir, in the pollen heart of the lotus, means you're taking human birth. Attain marvelous and most excellent city. Renowned as a lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakini. As I practice following in your footsteps, I pray that you approach to confer your blessing. Guru Pema, bestow blessings upon me right now in this place. Boom. Having snaps your fingers 3 times. My fingers don't work that way. Boom, in the northwest border of the country of Oregon, in the pollen heart of the lotus, you attain most marvelous and most excellent city. Renowned as a lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakini. As I practice following in your footsteps, I pray you approach to confer your blessing. O Guru Pema, bestow cities upon us. Home on the northwest border of the country of Oregon, in the pollen heart of the lotus, you attain most marvelous and most excellent accomplishment. Renowned as the lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakini. I practice following in your footsteps. I pray you approach to confer blessings. Om Guru Pema, bestow cities upon us. Om, on the northwest border of the country of Oregon, and the pollen heart of the lotus, you attain most
marvelous, most excellent city.
Renowned
Renowned as a lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakinis. As I practice following
in your footsteps, I pray you approach to confer your blessing. Om Guru Pema, bestow city upon me. Om, on the northwest border of the country of Oregon, in the pollen heart of the lotus, you attain marvelous and most excellent city. Renowned as a lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakini. As I practice following in your footsteps, I pray to approach to confer your blessing. Om Guru Pema bestow cities upon me. One more time. Om, on the northwest border of the country of Oregon and the pollen heart of the lotus, you attain marvelous and most excellent city. Renowned as a lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of Dakini. As I practice following in your footsteps, I pray you approach to confer your blessing. Om Guru Pema bestow blessings upon me. Om Organ Yugi Nujam Shah Bema Gesor Dampo La Yajin Shugi Jugurne Bema June Jesu Ja Kordu Kandru Mambo Kor Keki Jesu Jakuki Jingi Luxur Jesu So Guru Pema Siddhi. Then for a few moments, imagine Guru Rinpoche merging into you. And now you are surrounded by an infinite retinue of blazing bodhisattva female Dakini. And they bestow the actual accomplishment and realization of results to your spiritual practice. Then think for a moment that what is taking place in your situation is equally taking place to every sentient being in the universe. To every animal and human, wherever they take birth on planets throughout the universe. And to the vastness of space, the Dharmakaya, which is the home of the four categories of spirit. Each and every one receiving the blessing of Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava. And all of those sentient beings, your mothers, dissolve into you from every direction. And you, as Guru Rinpoche, disappear into the home, the blue, dark blue home in a sphere of five-colored light in your heart center. Imagine it shrinking to a tiny point of light similar to an atom, and blending with the totality of space. Relax, be present, and aware. There's much more to the Bhavas and Bhava practice than the 7-line prayer that we just performed with the home. But just this much. Presents one with immense opportunities to evolve into higher and higher states of awareness and intelligence and overcome the difficulties of being in the human condition in this drama world today. So practice this with honor, respect, and devotion to your teachers, and blend it with whatever practice you are already performing. whether it be the simplicity of the three lights and the five elements, or the more complex practices of the deity yogas and the 6 yogas of Neguma and Tilopa and others. And to help you overcome the shadow of negative tendencies that each one of us has followed us into this life. Now we're going to do the practice of Vajrasattva, which purifies all these negative influences from past life. Of everything we have done with our body, speech, and mind before up to now. So bring the other one. Presenting the Tanka of Chenrezig in union with red Tara as Vajrasattva with Aksobhaya above his head, which is the blue energy field, on a lotus sun and moon disk, which is the way all deities and bodhisattvas enter into the human condition to take birth, is the symbol of the lotus underneath. And then the development of insight is a sun and moon disk on the lotus. And they take form in union. And I'm going to read from the text. This is a short sutra text of the Vajrasattva purification practice. To start the visualization practice, first perform refuge and bodhicitta prayers. If possible, say them 3 times, and if possible, with prostration. Then visualize on the crown of your head a palm, which is the Buddha Dakini. She's sitting on it. She turns into an 8-petal lotus, which represents the 8 worldly Dharma. Above this lotus, the seesaw Ram appears as a flat sun disk. And then on the sun disk with the sound Ah turns into a moon disk. Now this is the energies of becoming a human bodhisattva. Resting on top of this lotus sun and moon disk is the seesaw Hum, which turns into a white 5-pronged Vajra. The Hum is located in the center where the prongs converge. So this is the Vajra. This is visualized above your head. At the center, light radiates from the Hum as offering to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, who fill all the aims of enlightenment of sentient beings as Bodhisattvas doing practice. At the center, light radiates from the Hum again, and this Vajra turns into Vajrasattva, who is now separate from your root Lama and all the 6 sources of refuge. His body is white, clear with 1 face and 2 hands. The right hand holds a Vajra at his heart. This fulfills the aims of enlightenment for infinite sentient beings. Then the light returns into the home and the Vajra turns into Dorje Sepa. It is not separate from your own root Lama and all the 6 sources of refuge. The body is white, clear with one face, 2 hands. The right hand holds a Vajra at the heart. The left one holds a silver bell on his thigh with a Vajra handle. He sits in the Vajra mudra of full lotus position. The Vajra is the male symbol of indestructible mind. This becomes the purification of the 5 basic unstable emotions, which then turn into the 5 Buddha family. And they are represented by the 5 jewels on, or lotuses on its head. The bell, called a drilbu, is a symbol of the 5 elements of the wisdom dakinis, blended with the natural wisdom mind as the realization of the void nature of the entire phenomenal world and everyone in it. Then, as the creation phase, his upper and lower garments of precious silks of 5 colors. He wears a 5 jewel crown and 5 peaceful ornaments. On the crown of his head, at the top knot, is the Buddha Aksabhaya, the blue beautiful field of the Dharmakaya, of the inseparability of everything connecting to you. This is the symbol of the wisdom mind that purifies anger, hatred, and aversion. The body is adorned with the 32 major and 80 minor marks of all the qualities of all the deities and Buddha symbols. His body is clear and emits immeasurable light. It appears to lack all substantiality, like a hologram, or like a reflection of the moon in water. So this is the description of the creation phase. Then we receive the transmission by visualizing our Lama in front as the root Lama of all Lamas on the planet from the time of Shakyamuni Buddha up to the present, and all those existing today. From the root Lama's forehead, white light with the sound Om enters into our forehead. From his throat, red light from the sound Ah enters into our throat. And from his heart chakra, blue Hum, energy of wisdom enters into our heart chakra. Then the Lama, with the 3 lights blazing simultaneously, melts into us. This completes the transmission of the 4 wisdom element transmission, 1 for your body, 1 for your speech, and 1 for your mind. As the Lama melts into you, the white light in your forehead with a vibration of Om inside moves down the central channel into the red Ah. These 2 merge together, move down into the blue Hum in your heart chakra. With this energy, the effect goes to infinite sentient being, filling space, and they all perform this practice the same as you are performing. Above the lotus sun and moon seat, a white Hum is visualized in the heart, and the mantra appears because you included all sentient beings in the practice. Is coiled clockwise. The letters of the 100-syllable mantra, each one a different color. They are clear and face outward away from the Hum, so they The 100-syllable mantra is circling this hum in your heart inside a blue sphere of light or a white sphere, take your pick. The light from the mantra fills the deity as an invitation to and goes out to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions and 3 times. Then they return into Vajrasattva with all of them become the unity of all the infinite precious one. All Buddhas, all Bodhisattvas, all Lamas, all protectors, all Dakini in one symbol. Now you pray to him out loud, please remove all past harmful acts and obstructions of all one's past lives up to the present life. Excellent Dorje Sepa Vajrasattva, I pray that you remove all my harmful deeds, obstructions, unstable emotions, delusions, transgressions, and all negative and harmful activity, and those of all sentient beings filling space in the 6 realms of rebirth. Then you visualize white light of wisdom and purification pouring down from the seed-syllable home and the circle of the 100-syllable mantras into you through the Uma channel. Once your body is filled with this, the SX streams out through your pores and orifices and down into the earth. As the light enters the earth, the bliss energy of nectar and food is available to the sentient beings, infinite in number living in the earth. As this takes place, all harmful deeds, obstructions gathered throughout beginning lifetime take the form of soot and sludge on the surface of your body. All the unstable emotions and disease take forms of insects and parasites. All the substances composing your food physical body, including flesh, blood, and bones, stream out like bubbles through the lower orifices, sense organs, and skin pores. All of this dissolves into the golden ground, becoming nectar and food for living beings in the earth. As this takes place, you visualize your body has been purified by the elixir of awareness of the deity, inseparable from your Lama and all teachers. The elixir fills your body and overflows of the crown of your head and comes in contact with Vajrasattva's foot. Visualize this very clearly while reciting the 100-syllable mantra. Be not distracted while doing this visualization and reciting this mantra. Do the visualization without distraction and continuously recite the 100-syllable mantra clearly and softly out loud at a moderate pace. Think your body is insubstantial and made of clear light. This is the rainbow body of Vajrasattva, of the enlightened Bodhisattva deity. The body looks transparent like a container into which the white elixir is pouring. If you can, hold your mala in your left hand for counting and try to do 100 recitations with single pointed concentration. We don't often use the sutra text with the practice, and if possible, you could visualize in union with whatever color Dakini Bodhisattva, white, red, blue, green, or yellow you choose. Then recite the 100 syllable mantra while visualizing the purification of the practice. If you have a mala, use it. So you center your, then the horn becomes the Vajra changes to Vajrasattva. The 100 syllable mantra is turning, the energy fills the deity down through your central channel, spreads through your body. All negativity outside, like sludge down into the earth, is food and nectar. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Dikta Trido Mebao Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva Kam Susame System Shri Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrasa Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Dita Jito Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anurakto Mevawa Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva Kama Sutsame System Shriya Guru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Dikta Jito Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anurakto Mevawa Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva Karma Sutsame System Shriya Guru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva
Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Dito Jito Mebaya
Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anurakto Mevawa Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva Karma Sutsame System Shriya Guru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya
Vajrasattva
Denopa Dita Jito Meva Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anurakto Mevawa
Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva
Karma Sutsame System Shriya Guru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Dikta Jito Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anurakto Mevawa Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva Karma Sutsame System Shriya Guru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Dikta Jito Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anurakto Mevawa Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva Karma Sutsame System Shriya Guru Ho Ha Sower Tata Gata Vajramame Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denupa Jito Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Anarakto Mevawa Sour Siddhi Mantrayasa Sour Karma Susame Sisam Shriyam Guru Om Om Bhagavan Sour Tata Gata Vajramami Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajrasattva Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Jito Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anarakto Mevawa Sour Siddhi Mantrayasa Sour Karma Susame Sisam Shriyam Guru Om Bhagavan Sour Tata Gata Vajramami Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Now I have this on a sheet here, which each section of the mantra, each one is a line. And I'm going to read it that way it's written. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tishta Jito Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anorakto Me Bhava Sour Siddhi Memtrayasa Sour Karma Sutsame Sitsam Shriyam Guru Hom Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sour Tata Gata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva 15 line is the prayer. This is all translated into English. But what it represents is all 5 Buddha fields entering into you, along with the dakinis of the 5 elements, which is the nature of your body. And these 5 become the nature of the mantra and your mind and your thoughts. And all sentient beings are saying this mantra and doing exactly what you're doing, purifying. Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Jito Me Bhava Suttakayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anarakta Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Memtraya Sarva Karma Susame Sitsam Shriyam Guru Om Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramami Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva. And if you want to say it fast for collecting, for accomplishing 111,000 recitations of this mantra, Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Jito Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Sour Siddhi Memtrayasa Sour Karma Susame Sisam Shriyam Guru Om Bhagavan Sour Tata Gata Vajramami Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Jito Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anarakta Me Bhava Sour Siddhi Memtrayasa Sour Karma Susame Sisam Shriyam Guru Bhagavan Sour Tata Gata Vajramami Vajrasattva Samaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tikta Jito Me Bhava Sito Gayo Me Bhava Sabho Gayo Anurakta Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Manta Yasa Sarva Karma Sisa Tatam Shriya Ko Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sarva Data Gata Vajrama Me Musa Vajrabhava Samaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tikta Jito Me Bhava Sito Gayo Supokayo me bhava, anurakta me bhava, so sati natayasa, so karma susame, system shri, guru hum, ho, bhagavan, sarvatataka, vajrama me musa, vajrabhava, masamaya, sat, om vajragani, vajrasattva, samaya, anupalaya, vajrasattva, denopa, tikta jaya me, Sujokayo me bhava, Subokayo me bhava, Savakama Susame, Sesam Jayam Go Hum, Ha Ha Ha, Hum, Bhagava, Sarvatata Gata Vajrama me Musa Vajrama, Samaya Sattva, Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Denuva, Tito Jito me bhava, Sudokayo me bhava, Subokayo me bhava, Anurakta me bhava, Sarvasiddhi. Sutta Sittam Shriya Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagava, Sarvatata Gata Vajrama me Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajrayani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Tikta Jito me bhava, Sutta Gaya me bhava, Subhagaya Anurakta me bhava, Sarva Siddhi Manta Yasa Sarva Karma Susa Sittam Shriya Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagava, Sarvatata Gata Vajrama me Musa Vajrama Samaya Sattva Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupala Vajrasattva Denopa Tikta Jito me bhava, Subokayo me bhava, Anurakta me bhava, Sarvasiddhi Sarvakarma Susame, Sesam Shriya Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Sarvatata Gata Vajrama me Musa Vajrama Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupala Vajrasattva Denopa Tikta Jito me bhava, Sudokayo me bhava, Subokayo me bhava, Sarvasiddhi Manta Yasa Sarvakarma Susame, Sesam Shriya Guru Ho Bhagavan Sarvatata Vajrama me Musa Vajrama Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupala Vajrasattva Tikta Jito me bhava, Sudokayo Subokayo me bhava, Anurakta me bhava, Sarvasiddhi Manta Yasa Sarvakarma Sesam Shriya Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajrama me Musa Vajrama Mahasamaya Sattva Samaya or Samaya, commitment. Now, if you can remember that as you're chanting this mantra and all this energy flowing through you and all your negative tendencies leaving your body down into the earth as nectar, that infinite sentient beings, your mothers, are performing this exactly with you. And since you are in this infinite position, the mantra is infinite in accomplishment. Because your negative tendencies from infinite past lives are infinite in number. To be purified now so that all these obstructions through your physical, mental, emotional programs leave and awareness of the deity takes its place. Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tikta Jito Meva Sutokayo Mevawa Subokayo Mevawa Anarakto Mevawa Sarvasi Amtrayasa Sarva Karma Susame Nisam Shriya Pura Mo Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarvata Gata Vajramameva Vajrabhava Vasamaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Sita Jita Mevava Sutokaya Mevava Supoga Mevava Anurakta Mevava Sarva Siddhi Vantayasa Sarva Karma Susame Sistam Shriya Guru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarvatanaga Vajrava Vajrava Vasamaya Sava Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Nidajito Mevava Sudogayo Mevava Subogayo Mevava Anurakto Mevava Sarva Siddhi Vajrayasa Sarva Susame Sistam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajramameva Vajrabhava Vasamaya Sapa Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manabhalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tikta Mevava Sutokayo Mevava Subokayo Mevava Anarakto Mevava Sarva Siddhi Vajrayasa Sarva Karma Susame Sistam Shriya Guru Sarvatata Gata Vajramameva Vajrabhava Vasamaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tikta Jito Mevava Sutokayo Mevava Subokayo Mevava Anurakto Mevava Sarva Siddhi Vajrayasa Sarva Karma Susame Sistam Shriya Guru Aho Bhagavan Sarvatata Vajramameva Vajrabhava Vasamaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tikta Jito Mevava Sudokayo Mevava Subokayo Mevava Anurakto Mevava Sarva Siddhi Vajrayasa Sarva Karma Susame Sistam Shriya Guru Ho Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajramameva Vajrabhava Vasamaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tikta Sutokayo Mevava Subokayo Mevava Anurakto Mevava Sarva Siddhi Vajrayasa Sarva Karma Susame Sistam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajramameva Vajrabhava Vasamaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Sutokayo Mevava Subokayo Mevava Anurakto Mevava Sarva Siddhi Vajrayasa Sarva Karma Sistam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajramameva Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tita Jito Me Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Supo Kayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Bhamtaya Sarva Karma Sutsame Jitsam Shriyam Guru Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarvartata Gata Vajramamri Vajrabavan Mahasamaya Sattva Okay. On completing the Vajrasattva recitation 3, 7, 21, or 108 times, or as many times as you're able, say these words. Pleased by your recitation, the smiling Vajrasattva and Vajrayogini call out, O sons and daughters of the Buddha family, all your harmful deeds, obscurations, and transgressions are purified from this day forward. Then Vajrasattva breathes on, and Vajrayogini breathe on me, dissolve into light. And all of this dissolves into me and is absorbed into my 3 or 5 places. Now Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind are not separate from my own body, speech, and mind. So you become Vajrasattva and or Vajrasattva with Vajrayogini. Now you say the short mantra. If it's just Vajrasattva, you're visualizing its own Vajrasattva Om. If you're in union with Vajrayogini, any color, then Om Vajrasattva Mam. So do that. Vajrasattva and or Vajrasattva, Vajrayogini, however you were practicing, dissolves into you. Then you say the short mantra as many times as you said, at least as many times as you said the 100-syllable mantra. And you see that rotating in your heart, letters facing outward, or connecting you to the Dakini, from your heart to their heart and back to your heart. Either way. Om Vajrasattva, Vajrayogini, Mam Hum. 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 Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum. And you think whatever you are doing, infinite sentient beings in the 6 realms, exactly the same as you. Om Vajrasattva, Vajrayogini, Mam Hum. Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum. Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum. Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum. Om Vajragani, 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 Vajrasattva, Mam Hum. Hey. At this point, you visualize infinite sentient beings as the two deities coming into you from every direction, like rain into a lake. You can do this in stages or all at once. Then you as Vajrasattva or Vajrasattva Vajrayogini disappear into the seed-soluble Mam and Hum, which merge into your heart center. Then the deity, you as Vajrasattva Vajrayogini, disappear into the mantras. The mantras disappear into the sound Om. The home in a sphere of 5-colored light expands to the totality of space. No meditation. Simply be present in the clear light awareness of your natural mind. This is the essence of everything you imagine or do. Be present and aware. Then from this state of the accomplishment stage of the practice, may all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all beings not have suffering or the cause of suffering. May all beings never be without the supreme bliss, which is free from all suffering. May all beings live in the great equanimity, which is free from all attachment, aversion, delusion, pride, envy, greed, may all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. And may all their wishes be fulfilled. Kewa di nirdu da, chagya chempo jugirne, trova chinki malupa, te sala gopa sho, sanjay kusa mimpai jimla dan, choni megar impai jimla dan, kendu miche dumpai jimla ki, chitar goma mona dupar sho. By this virtue, having realized Mahamudra, may I quickly establish all being without a single exception in that state. And the blessings of the three bodies of the Buddha being pleased, the truth of the Dharma itself being unchanging, and the wishes of the Sangha being unwavering, may this and all dedication and prayers be fulfilled. Tuchiche, thank you. Mahalo. Mil gracias.